Welcome to Phoenix Protocol. This is a heads up for you that there are some static issues throughout these episodes. The downloads were so impactful that I decided to still upload them. Since this has been brought to my attention, I have hardwired my microphone. I do apologize. It's in a few of the episodes for volume 3. Hello and welcome to Phoenix Protocol. I am Jane Galluzzi, your master installation specialist. Let's all go ahead and authenticate using the codename for our universal operating system, God, the codename for our planetary location, Mother Earth, and your unique operating system, codename you. So let me do my authentication. Hey everybody, this is Jane Galluzzi, pinging to God on Mother Earth, and we are getting into Phoenix Protocol. Today we're going to talk about why do you call out to the universal operating system? God. Well, we all know about authentication, triangulation, but let's talk a little bit more about how this system operates and why it is necessary to continually check in with the system and the planetary body that you're on, the planetary station, and then triangulate with yourself. Well, we're talking about processing power here. We're talking about a system that is managing energy and delineating it to its users in a prioritized fashion. It is also dealing with upgrading the system constantly. New versions of you are always happening, right? Unless you're exactly how you were when you were 5 years old, I highly doubt it. So there is a new version of you, whether you want to admit it or not. And when you authenticate, you get hooked up to the most updated version of all coding in the universal operating system, pinged to planetary station, Mother Earth, in tandem with you as an individual unique operating system. So you need to do that triangulation to make sure that you are having the most up-to-date versions of everything and you're not having compatibility issues and you aren't being inundated with inefficient coding that is literally latching on to your older versions because it's not compatible with a lot of the newer upgraded versions. And it's looking for people who have not synced, who have not authenticated, who have not validated in a long time. And even if you have been authenticating, you could also just have one of these outdated versions hop into your system because it's desperately seeking a power source and hoping that you might not notice. And I talk a lot about the different versions of outdated code. And one of them that's pretty hard to spot, but you're going to be fine and you're going to get it 100%, is the confusion delusion. And the example I like to give is you are out there utilizing your energy allocation efficiently and you are acting out your purpose and your destiny through your gifts and talents. So the example I give is I'm a writer, and so I'm writing something, and say I'm writing a scene for a movie, and the confusion delusion, outdated version, inefficient code monster comes in and starts saying, "Oh, I'm not a writer. Why am I doing this? What am I thinking right now? This is a total waste of my time. I'm not a writer." So I'm literally writing right now, being a writer, and confusion delusion is starting to tell me, "Oh, I'm not a writer. What am I doing?" It's confusing me. So I lower my energy allocation use at that time, right? Confusion delusion, outdated, scrambled, inefficient code has latched on and is siphoning my energy. It's not a big deal. It's just there and it's derailing me, and it just needs to be pinged back to the universal operating system, codename God, so that it can be rebooted and reinstalled with the up-to-date coding. It's not up to me to judge whether or not this inefficient code has a purpose or not, if it's good or bad. That's up to the universal operating system to decide. And that's why I ping it back there so that it can basically be validated, authenticated, upgraded, new code, whatever it needs. I don't need to figure that out. That's not my job. My job is literally my purpose in that moment is to be a writer. And the fact that confusion, delusion, inefficient code, version far, far long ago has an incompatibility issue with me is not my issue. I just need to notice it and send it back. Easy. So easy. Okay? And if you have not validated or authenticated, triangulated, you pretty much are open to old versions of inefficient code, and it's time to upgrade you and get efficient and have the most up-to-date versions of everything so that you start to notice incompatibility faster and you can send and reboot the inefficient code, because right now we are seriously plagued with inefficient coding and it's creating a backlog of lag time and it's creating a big disparity. We need to close the gap here by everybody triangulating and authenticating, because we are only as strong as our weakest link. We do love one another, and there's no need for this anymore. There's no need. It's time to triangulate, get the most up-to-date versions of everything. And what's going to happen is, yes, we're all triangulating. We're all catching up to this information. That's why my work is coming out right now. That's why Phoenix Protocol is here, because it's time. And we're all updating, getting the most up-to-date versions of all coding in the universal operating system, codename God. Okay, so you use the code name to literally get your code, the most up-to-date code, the most up-to-date versions. And once you do that, then you start to notice what is incompatible way quicker, way faster. If you haven't said the word God, which is the code name for this universe and is literally printed on the United States dollar saying, "In God we trust," the United States dollar is comfortable using the word God. Why are you not comfortable with it? You better get comfortable. You need the most up-to-date version of your unique operating system, and you need the most up-to-date version of the operating system that we are all in, the universe, God. And you need to ping the planetary station that you're on, Mother Earth, because there are different conditions here than if you ping, I don't know, a different planet with a different atmosphere, with different conditions. Okay? So that is why you triangulate in that way. Planetary station, Mother Earth. There are physical conditions here. That is why codename Mother Earth represents the physical body. There are physical conditions here that your coding needs to take into account, right? There are certain survival situations here that are different than on any other ship or planetary body. So that is why you have a location ping. That is why they say mind, body, and soul. That is coding. Your mind is you, unique operating system, your name. That in and of itself is unique with its own coding situation. That is how crazy complex all of this is, but we're keeping it very simple. So you, with your name, that is your unique operating system. You do have your own code for that. Then in tandem, it has a location ping. That is the body. So planetary station Mother Earth, that is a code name for this planetary station. Then you have a third ping to triangulate, and that is within the operating system, the overarching operating system, codename God. So you need to get all of those coding languages. The one that is for this physical planetary station Mother Earth, the one that is for you, your unique operating system, and the one that is for the universal operating system that we are in, God. That is why you triangulate like that. And now let's talk a little bit more. The way that this is designed with time in place is actually to reduce certain issues with capacity and processing, right? So you can actually never, ever, ever ping more times than the system can process. And that is by design, right? We need sleep. So are you pinging 24/7 in your sleep? No. Even if you are awake, are you mentally thinking, God, Mother Earth, Jane, God, Mother Earth, Jane, God, Mother Earth, Jane, God, Mother Earth, Jane. No. What? And if I was doing that, I mean, what? I'm not living my purpose and destiny. It's not my purpose and destiny to constantly be upgrading these codes. It's just when I notice something inefficient or I haven't updated recently, so I don't have the most efficient coding, which is basically the same problem. I either notice something inefficient, meaning I don't have the most up-to-date and I notice an incompatibility issue, or someone next to me needs to upgrade. But luckily, mentally, I can actually make kind of a ping of a location near me that needs to be upgraded. But unfortunately, if that individual operating system wants the best upgrade, they are going to eventually need to ping themselves. I cannot force other people into pinging their triangulation to get their unique individualized operating system upgrade because I do not have access to that upgrade. Okay. Plenty people are praying and doing all this basically triangulation for people around them. And unfortunately, they do not have access to that unique individual operating systems custom code. And that is by design. So unfortunately, I can pray for you as much as I want. And I can really do a lot for you depending on how close you are to my vicinity. Because at the end of the day, I'm an efficient energy user. I'm upgraded. I'm living my destiny and purpose every day. So people around me are going to get residual benefits from that. Okay? Because that's who I am and I'm going to share. And also because my system's running so effectively, it just creates a beautiful web around me. But I will absolutely never, ever, no matter how much I pray for you, be able to access your unique operating system because it is inherently by design that I cannot access that upgrade because it is only allowed for you by a security feature of called in many places they call it know thyself. Know thyself, knowing yourself, only you being able to know you is a security feature that allows only you to access your unique operating system. I can never access it. This is why you have to do your own triangulation. It's time. If the dollar bill can say the word God, you can say it. You're fine. That is the code name for this operating system, and you need to ping to that to get the universal operating system's most up-to-date code. Then you ping to Mother Earth to get the code for this physical area, physical area, and then you ping to your unique operating system to get your upgrade. You can never ever ping more than the system has a capacity for, and that's inherently by design because of the invention of time. And so when you ping, you will be prioritized because it is assuming that you need attention in the system. And attention is our greatest asset, by the way, because if you don't have any attention, then you're not going to be able to notice inefficient coding. You're not going to be able to live your purpose and destiny. So if something is taking your attention and it is a drainer, that is a very good time to ping, triangulate, okay? So call to God. These are a few reasons why. And don't forget to ping your location, Mother Earth, and your unique operating system name so that you can get all of the mind, body, and soul upgrades that you need. And then you can be compatible with the most efficient operating systems in the world, in the universe. That is the goal here. And you can start to just notice these incompatible, inefficient codes. And just we can all upgrade so that we get to have more efficiency, more energy, and we can literally step into a renaissance here. Thank you for being here for Phoenix Protocol. I'm very proud of you. So happy you're here. Love you very much. And yeah, I will talk to you later. Welcome to Phoenix Protocol. My name is Jane Galluzzi, and I am your technician and installation specialist. Let's go ahead and authenticate mind, body, soul. I am going to do my authentication with the proper code terminology for my unique operating system right now, which is my code name, the code name for the planetary station that we're on, and the code name for the universal operating system that we are within. So let if you haven't done it. I just got the newest version of the code. So woohoo! I'm all upgraded. That was easy. Mind, body, soul, unlock. Now, let's talk a little bit more about energy allocation and efficiency of use, because there is a lot of around this whole money thing. Money, 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 right? More money, more problems. What is it about money? Okay. First of all, money should not be your concern in any way, shape, or form. Your only concern within the universal operating system, codename God, on planetary station, codename Mother Earth, within your unique operating system, codename your name, should be to use your energy allocation, the resources that you have been allocated efficiently without harming the systems that you are in, and with pure positive intention. So, how do you do that? That is what your talents are for. And your talents can range from a variety of things. They can be something that you see on television or in a movie or on stage. That can be a talent, but there are plenty more. Literally, literally being very good at meditating is a talent. Being great at gardening is a talent. Being a great listener is a talent. It goes on and on and on. There are so many talents. I could talk and list them for hours and hours and days and days. Okay. So when we think about money, actually, one of the first words for money was talent. And a talent used to be an enormous amount of money. It was years and years of salary. And something has happened now that, money, we utilize it as something to help us distribute resources. So that's why if you look at the United States dollar, it says, "In God we trust," because it actually is triangulating within the system that we're in. It's asking for trust within the system. And it's triangulating. Look at a United States dollar. Look at the front and back. It says on it the location. It says the mind, body, and soul. Okay. So in that example, the mind, the system that is individual and unique to that is the United States dollar, USD. The body, that is going to be the location, United States of America. That is the tender of United States of America. And the soul, it literally says on it, "In God we trust." It is still within the universal operating system of God. So if a US dollar is okay saying God, why aren't you? You need to validate. You need to get the most dated version. The US dollar has the most updated version of the universe. The US dollar has the most updated version of the universal operating system, God. It literally says on it, "In God we trust." So please triangulate, right? Money is triangulating within the system. It's literally asking for trust, because when you validate and you have pure intention and you are using your gifts and talents and you are in alignment with your destiny and purpose, you are trusted and validated in the system. And by the way, the very security feature that is know thyself, that only you can know yourself and no one else can, and study neuro-linguistic programming, and you will understand that that's just the way it is. You are the only one that can understand your unique operating system coding, and that is a security feature. So triangulate. Literally, the United States dollar is triangulating. Why aren't you triangulating? The US dollar is willing to say the word God. What are you talking about? We've been so confused. It's not anything to do with religion or spirituality. This is coding. Do you want the newest version or not? Like, please triangulate and authenticate within the systems that we're in. Mind, body, soul, Galluzzi, Earth, God. Mind, body, soul, Galluzzi, Earth, God. I just got the newest versions. Yes. Ooh, yeah. Like, let's go. Mind, body, soul. Money is saying God. The original word for money was a talent. Why are you so focused on getting dollar bills when there are plenty other resources out there? If you don't have water, do you think it's going to matter if you have a dollar bill and there's absolutely no water on the planet? If you have a dollar bill and there's no water, you are not going to survive. You are not going to survive if you have a dollar bill and there's no water. So why are you focusing on that one version of resource allocation. You need to focus on triangulating and verifying. And then once you have triangulated and verified to the updated versions of your mind, your unique operating systems code, the planet that you're on, the planetary station, Earth, and the universal operating system, God, once you have triangulated and authenticated and verified, then you need to use your talents to show that the energy that has been allocated to you is being used effectively. And then you will get more resource allocation. That is how it works. You can't just think. I want $1 million. I want $1 million. Like, you can have that thought, and then you have to use your talents to get it. You have to use the energy properly to get that resource allocation. If you just sit around and write down, I'm going to have $1 million, I'm sorry, that's not going to work. That's not how it works. And if you're not verifying and authenticating within the system, oh my gosh, you're not. That's not how it works. No. Everyone is so hyper-focused on being a millionaire, billionaire, trillionaire, zillionaire. I don't know. When does it end? Like, all you need is the amount of resources and allocation that is the amount of resources and allocation that you need to perform your talents and gifts. And this is going to be a mind-blown moment for people because we're in these systems. You have your mind, your unique operating system that is codename you. Inherently the only one in the universe. Okay? That is why Neo is the one, because Neo knows itself, right? The Matrix. Neo is the one because it is a unique and individualized program. It is not an Agent Smith. There's a billion Agent Smiths. Neo is the one because Neo knows himself. Okay? And that is why he has access to that energy, because it is a security feature. That is why Neo is the one, because Neo knows himself. Watch The Matrix. Very good. I'm obsessed. Okay? So back to the example, right? We're talking about money. Everyone's so focused about being a millionaire. Like, you have to know yourself and know that you are the only one that knows yourself, and that is a security feature. So, mind, checking in, using codename your name. Body, codename Earth. That is the planetary code for this physical environment. There is an atmosphere. There are certain chemicals. There are certain things about planet Earth that make it different than a different location in the universe. That is why you have to ping that location. So you say, my name's Jane Galluzzi. Jane Galluzzi, that's my unique operating system, individual to me, the one, if you will, if you want to go Matrix on it. Like, Jane Galluzzi is the one, because that is what I know as my one and only, okay? And that is my unique operating system that I want to get upgraded and have the newest version of. There actually is unique coding just for me. That's how crazy and individualized this is. It's a lot of work, okay? And so I'm getting my newest version. Now I need to... hello, planetary station Earth is where I'm at. So I need the coding for that too, because make sure I'm in alignment with Earth. Hello, that's where I'm at. And then also I'm in the universe of God. So hello, I need to also be compatible with this universe. Okay? And what happens, I've been, I'm online with my most up-to-date version, and now I need to use my talents. And instead of focusing on getting money, which, by the way, is triangulating with the system, right? Instead of that, I need to focus on utilizing my gifts and talents and knowing that as long as I am authenticating and triangulating within that system, within those 3 points, I will be given the resource allocation that I need to perform my gifts and talents, because that is my purpose and destiny. We have it all backwards. We have it all backwards here. Like, the fact that people are saying, like, oh, I'm going to be able to do my purpose and destiny and, like, perform my talents. No. The fact that you're not doing your talents and your purpose and destiny and all these things is why you don't have the resource allocation, because there's a backlog and it seems like you don't need it because you're not doing it. It's like having a lazy program in a computer. You're like, why isn't it learning the new software? Why isn't it upgrading? What is going on? We're sending energy allocations. It's not using it. There's a bottlenecking issue there. What's going on? I will tell you, if you do the authentication process, there's going to be all this inefficient code that's outdated that, goodbye. You're going to have an influx of energy. Your energy allocation is going to be running proficiently. And so okay, a bottlenecking issue where you continue to do things the same way, remember who you are. Like, use your gifts and talents so that the energy allocation can continue to flow through you at phenomenal speeds. So instead of focusing on money, you need to triangulate and get the most upgraded version. And then you need to use your gifts and talents, because when you do that, more resource allocation follows. When you use your gifts and talents, more resource allocation follows. And if you could have a dollar bill and die because there's no water, stop focusing on money. If you're performing your gifts and talents and what you need is water and not a dollar bill, you're going to be happy that someone brings you water. Start focusing like that, because that's how it's working. And if you're not performing your gifts and talents, you're not going to get more resource allocation. It's just not going to happen. You can say you want $1 million all you want. No, you have to use your gifts and talents, and that could be anything. You could literally have a nice conversation with someone in line at the store, and your gift and talent in that moment was to be nice to someone. That is appropriate use of your energy. Bam, you authenticate with the system, and you get more energy allocation. So take each moment seriously. Have pure positive intention. How can you contribute to the place that you're in, the world around you? Is it just meditating and triangulating and noticing an efficient code and starting to get tuned into the Phoenix Protocol and what's it all about? That's great. Okay? Stop obsessing over money when money itself is triangulating within the system. You're obsessing over something that's doing something you're not. It's triangulating. It's authenticating. Like, do that first, and then use your talents and gifts, which can have the reward of having more resource allocations of money. But know that as long as you're performing your gifts and talents, you will have the resource allocation that you need to sustain that. So we need to stop with the greedy, hungry monster. You have what you need to sustain your gifts and talents and live your purpose and destiny. It's inherently designed that way. As long as you are efficiently using your energy allocation, as long as you are authenticating with the system by saying mind, body, and soul, as long as you are doing that, you will have everything you need. It's gotten so complicated, completely unnecessary. Mind, body, and soul. Jane Galluzzi, Earth, God. Now, what do I do every day? Oh, I work very hard and I use my gifts and talents all day, every day. That is why I have such a high energy allocation, because I am earning trust in the system by doing that every day. And I validate and I verify. Okay. So just, if you don't know what your gifts and talents are, it does include learning, going to school, educating yourself. You know, that is part of, that counts as proper energy allocation. So if you're not sure what your gift or talent is, first of all, triangulate, authenticate, and then try different things, learn something, read a book, you know, like make sure you're not hurting the system and using pure positive intention. Figuring it out counts as proper resource allocation. So be aware of that. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for being part of Phoenix Protocol. I'm so proud of you guys. Hello and welcome to the Phoenix Protocol. My name is Jane Galluzzi, and I am going to be your master technician and installation specialist for your upgrades. We are having compatibility issues with old versions of coding running wild in our universe, in our planetary body, and in your unique system. It is time to authenticate to get the most up-to-date versions so that you can run effectively and basically have more energy allocation and a lot of great things. It's very positive, and it just takes a second. All you have to say is the code names for the planetary station, the universal operating system, and your unique operating system. So I will authenticate right now. The code name for the universal operating system is God. The code name for my unique operating system is Jane Galluzzi. And the code name for this planetary station is Mother Earth. So God, Mother Earth, Jane Galluzzi, and I'm done. I'm done. God, Mother Earth, Jane Galluzzi, and I'm done. God, Mother Earth, Jane Galluzzi, and I'm done. Insert your name. Welcome to Phoenix Protocol. Today, I am going to talk about insecurity, and that insecurity in and of itself is a sign that your operating system has a security breach. That is all it is. We have really complicated that term, and all it means is that there's a security breach. If somebody is saying you're being insecure, take it upon yourself to just triangulate and get that out of there. It's an outdated program. It's no longer needed. But that security feature is very good and it's very useful. So you need to understand that if something is making you feel insecure, it's because there's an outdated, inefficient program. Utilize that to triangulate and authenticate, because we are, at the end of the day, only as strong as our weakest link. And we all have to upgrade to the most current versions. You know, a lot of us are praying for other people, and that's so nice of you. That is very nice of you. And, you know, your web of beauty and energy efficient use can extend to other people, and you almost can kind of get them in there. But at the end of the day, I don't have security clearance to access your unique individual code. And I never, ever, ever will, no matter how much I pray for you. So unfortunately, we all need to triangulate, need to upgrade. This is a group situation, because I can never, ever, ever, based on the way that this is designed, ever access your unique individual operating system coding. It is by design that I cannot access it. Otherwise, I could be location pinging and get your unique operating system coding, and that would not be good, because I could just shapeshift from one thing to the next. So that's by design, that there's only one Jane Galluzzi, and like it or not, you can try to triangulate to me as much as you want, but I am totally secure. I am upgraded. I am up to date, and you can't access me. Sorry. Go ahead. Try. It's not going to work. Unfortunately, you can only use your name. Well, I mean, unfortunately, I guess if you're trying to download my code. But you shouldn't want to do that, because your code is written for you, okay? And it's going to be way better for you. Trust me. My code is mine, and I can handle it. That's why I have this coding. Upgrade of your... Actually, I need you to... That's your purpose and destiny. We need you to do that for you. So beautiful when you start to think about things. You're gorgeous. Thank you for being here. So insecurity, speaking of gorgeous, when you have the feeling of insecurity currently, and I grew up in the age of like Vogue, beauty magazines, Cosmopolitan. I was obsessed. I would cut them out, put them in my journals. I love fashion. You know, I'm I do a lot of styling for the characters that I create for the feature films, and I love style. I love style. If you catch me at the mall, I'm definitely going to go into one of these legacy brands and ask them what are their most historic pieces and make them give me a tour. I do it all the time, and it's so fun. I'm obsessed with fashion. So talking about insecurity, you've noticed that you're insecure and you're like, I need a haircut. I need better clothes. I need makeup. No. You have a security breach, my friend. You have a security breach. Sound the alarm. And honestly, the alarm will just go off for a second, because all you need to do is location ping and authenticate and get rid of that inefficient code. You are incompatible with something that is sucking your energy, and insecurity is a security breach feature to let you know that something is attaching to you that is inefficient code, and it needs to be upgraded, reboot, sent back to God, the ultimate operating system, so that it can be a new version. And yeah, it's not compatible with you. And you need to upgrade too. So let's go. Okay. Jane Galluzzi, Mother Earth, God. Okay. That's all you have to do to mitigate a security breach. If you're insecure, it is a internal alarm system to let you know that your inherent design of being secure, because only you can know yourself. That's by design. Study neuro-linguistic programming. Okay, plenty of people say you have to know thyself. It's because Only you know yourself. You are the only one that has access to your unique operating system. Mind, body, soul. Code name, Jane Galluzzi. Planetary location, Mother Earth. Universal operating system, God. I am officially secure. I am officially updated. I am officially good to go. Insecurity is an alarm system to let you know that you need to ping. Mind, body, soul. Unique operating system name. Planetary station code name. Universal operating system code name. Mind, body, soul. Jane Galluzzi, Mother Earth, God. Jane Galluzzi, Mother Earth, God. I can do it all day long, but I only need to do it when I notice an inefficient energy drainer around me, because then I'll be prioritized within those 3 systems and get my upgrade downloaded to me because something is incompatible in my area. And I'm noticing that I'm incompatible, meaning that there should be a new version. Because if I'm noticing it, that means someone else surely noticed it and rewrote that code and fixed that issue. It is a very efficient system that we're in. The only issue is that we have all forgot how to triangulate and authenticate, and it is creating so much backlog that the energy is actually not functioning properly, and it is creating so much mental bloat. It's creating jamming issues. There are capacity limits happening here. There's corruption running rampant. These are inefficient programs, and we need to really streamline the energy here if we want to online what's coming. So please do your part and upgrade with your mind, body, and soul. It's so simple. That's why my work is coming out now, because we're all ready and it's going to be great. So mind, your name, code name. Body, planetary station, code name. Soul, the universal operating system, code name. Mind, body, soul. Jane Galluzzi, Mother Earth, God. And there we go. So I'm up to date. I'm good to go. Good to go. Literally. Mind, body, soul. Good to go. Okay. So thank you guys for understanding that if you feel insecure, it is not a sign to go and buy lip. Go to the store, get new clothes, go get a. Oh, I like to use the example of your house is literally actively being robbed. There is a secure. You go to the store and buy many more jewels and drop them off at the home and leave all the doors open and ignore the problem and go to a party and find a boyfriend and girlfriend? Absolutely not. If someone is in my home robbing my jewelry as we speak, are you talking about my bracelet and ring that I really like? No. I am going to call someone and get some support, whether you like it or not, by the universal operating system, codename God, the planetary body, codename Mother Earth, and your unique operating system, codename you. So if there's a security breach and you feel insecure, you need to triangulate. You need to authenticate immediately, as you would if someone was robbing your home full of jewelry. If you are not authenticating mind, body, soul, Jane Galluzzi, Mother Earth, God, right when you feel insecure, and instead you're going to go buy lip gloss and makeup and go get a boyfriend or girlfriend, trust me, you are open to inefficient code, and this will not be the only security breach. This is just one of many. So close that hole in your security, get upgraded, and be compatible with code that should not be running that way at all. And if you notice that, that means that it's been upgraded, because by the time that we notice, that's why time exists, to allow these upgrades and rewrites to happen so that we can download them and we can actually live our purpose and destiny using the energy efficiently. Okay? There's a lot of reasons why time exists. One of them is so that these coding issues can be alleviated to let the system run and function properly. Another reason why time exists is so that you cannot overload the system with pinging to God and Mother Earth too many times before they are able to update the code. Okay? So ping away. Ping away. Triangulate away. It's a good thing. Mind, body, and soul. mind, body, and soul. That is it is creating a specific location for the code. Because we're in a universe, codename God. We're on a planet, codename Mother Earth, and you are a individual operating system, codename you, and you need all three of those codes to function properly. And thank goodness there is a unique operating system of you, because that is how it is inherently secure. Because there could be other programs on planet Mother Earth, and there could be other things within operating system God, but you're the only one with your code. That is a security feature of the highest level that has been designed for your safety. So don't ever feel not safe if you are triangulating and verifying and validating in the system. Because as long as your intention is pure, you know what's going on in your internal operating system. You know what's going on there. So trust that. Have trust with yourself. Okay? Thank you guys so much for being here. I'm so proud of you. If you feel insecure, go ahead and triangulate and then go get the lip gloss. Like I said, I love fashion. I love style. I'll go to the mall all day and talk to them about the brands and what made them big. And it's so inspiring. I get so inspired there. So, but if you have insecurity, that's a security breach within your code. It's inherent by design that insecurity exists so that you can go to the code through triangulation, mind, body, soul. Mind, body, soul. You have to use the code terms. You can't say mind, body, soul. That's just remembering the order of it, okay? Mind, body, and soul is just so you know the order. Because you say, hey, this is Jane. Hello. Hi. Identification. Okay? And now, hey, I'm here on planet Earth. Hello, location. And I need the newest code within the universe system of God. Okay? That is how it works. Mind, body, soul. You have to triangulate to authenticate to get upgraded to the newest version so that you are compatible with the newest version and you are running efficiently and your purpose and destiny is online and your talents and gifts are how you pay that back into the system. It's not money. It's not all these other things. Those are regulators of resource allocation. You specifically need to use your gifts and talents. It could, as long as you are doing that and you are validating within the system, you are good to go. Okay. So let insecurity be a guide as to you being inefficient. And that's not a big deal at all, because that means that given the fact that there is time, your insecurity is letting you know, hey, by the way, we already recoded this. So why don't you get in touch with the newest upgrade? It's a good thing that you have insecurity because now you know there's an upgrade. Let it be a blessing. Get connected. Get the newest version. Mind, body, soul. Triangulate. Authenticate. Get upgraded. Let's do this. I'm so proud of you. Thank you for being here. This is Phoenix Protocol. Thank you guys so much. Welcome to today's meditation. This is a conversational meditation for the Phoenix Protocol. I think this lesson might be one of the most mic droppable lessons of all time. So I am your Phoenix Protocol installation specialist, and I am literally dropping bombs here. Please appreciate this knowledge and let it sink in. So we're over here, we're using coding language as gone into in depth. God is the proper code for the universe that we are in. You need to connect and authenticate with God in order to basically show your intention as being good and be given your energy allotment because you're being a proficient program and working towards your purpose by using your gifts and talents. Now, it's important to know that everything does have a purpose. Everything does have a purpose. A lot of us are out here trying to figure things out, and things have gotten very complicated, which is why there is so much confusion. I'm here to simplify. Simple code is the best code. It reduces inefficiencies, it reduces lag time, and it reduces system bloat, and it allows purpose and destiny to be realized, achieved, and a lot of fun to be had for us all. So everything has a purpose. God, that is the term for the universe that we're in. You need to use that term and your unique operating system term of your name to connect and validate within the system. You have a unique purpose that you will need to figure out through exploration and adventure. It's very fun. And now, many of you have probably heard metaphors like there's an angel and a demon on everyone's shoulder, whispering in their ears little things. What is that about? Okay, well, each of those have a purpose. Now, let me tell you what they are. An angel is the most efficient coder in the universe. That is why you have one. They are trying to help you with efficient use of your code, efficient use of your energy, efficient use of your destiny, efficient use of your purpose. They are a very efficient coder. They know how to use energy properly. That is why they are whispering things and guiding you in a way that will allow you to have more energy allocated towards your destiny and your purpose. So they are directing you in a way to use your gifts and talents efficiently and in a good way for the system. Okay, so what about my other shoulder? There's a demon on there. What's that about? Why are they whispering terrible things in my ear? That is horrible. Demons are scary. Demons are bad. Demons are evil. That is not true. They have a purpose, guys. They are illuminating the bad programs to you so that you can reboot them and get them out of your system because they are inefficient programs. They are using energy inefficiently. So demons are experts at finding our blind spots. They're experts at identifying inefficient code. They're experts at pointing it out to you so that you can reboot. Get those out of there. How do you do that? Command, Alt, Delete. You send it to God, the universal operating system. How could you ever do that if you didn't even know it was there? If you did not know that there was something using inefficient code, using energy improperly, how could you ever command, Alt, Delete it to God, the universal operating system, and get it out of there? They have an amazing purpose, and that is their purpose. Mic drop. That is why you have an angel and a demon on your shoulder, because they are trying to balance the energy allocation that you have and make sure that it is efficiently running. And they're working together to do that as a team. They are working as a team together. There is no battle. There is no war. That is between you and how you use your energy. And they are trying to effectively use their talents and skills because they are phenomenally capable. And that is why they have been put in those roles. And they too have their own purpose. And they too talk to God. And guess what? If they are good at what they do and their intention is pure and they talk to God, they too are going to get more energy allocated towards them. And they're going to be doing that job. So there are demons that are extremely good at finding inefficient use of energy and pointing it out for you. And it is up to you as regulating your energy, whether or not you recognize that, Command, Alt, Delete it to God, and change your space to manage your energy efficiently. Okay? Obviously, I'm simplifying this, but this is the simplest explanation you are ever going to get, and it is true. Demons have a purpose. It is to recognize inefficient code. Angels have a purpose. It is because they teach you how to efficiently use your energy. And together, if we are rebooting the most inefficient code, the most outdated code, we are all collectively able to upgrade the entire system to more proficient code and to a renaissance, if you will. So it is very important that we all start recognizing where inefficiencies lie and utilizing these angels and demons on our shoulders in the way that they are meant to be utilized. We cannot be afraid of their best talents. And we must start to use our energy efficiently, because we are only as strong as our weakest link. We all come from love. We all go back to love. And that includes angels, demons, humans, and everything in between. We love them all. They love us. It is just that there has been a miscommunication as to everyone's purpose. If you can't even figure out your purpose, how are you going to figure out their purpose? Okay? We all need to start talking to God, and that includes any angels or demons that are lost out there. That includes any humans that are lost out there. We all need to touch base with the universal operating system and make sure that our intentions are good and in alignment with our purpose. And guess what? If a demon is pointing out bad code to be rebooted and sent back to the universal operating system so that we can reboot that and reset that and give it better code that's more efficient, that is a good intentioned demon. So let's be fair. Let's be fair. But also, please take care of yourself. You are a human and you are managing all of this. And you do need to live your purpose and destiny. And that means if bad programming is brought up to your attention, then you are to reboot it. If you are being directed in your purpose and destiny and you are not acting with your gifts and talents, then you are being inefficient and you are not going to be getting as much energy allocation as you would like. So please use your gifts and talents every day to the best of your ability. Keep learning, keep growing, keep going. This is a team effort. We are all trying to upgrade the system together. We are only as strong as our weakest link. Everything and everyone has a purpose. Everything. And your intention is everything. Your intention is everything. Thank you guys so much for being part of this journey and hearing this mic drop moment and loving every second of it. I love you so much and I'm so proud of you. Thank you for being here and thank you for being part of Phoenix Protocol. May we all rise from the ashes, because this upgrade is serious and it's epic and it's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you so much. I love you so much. I love you more than you will ever know. An unfathomable amount. Unfathomable. Thank you. And have a beautiful day. Welcome to today's meditation. Thank you so much for joining me. This is Phoenix Protocol. Get comfortable. Know that you are loved. So today we're going to talk about what we define as bad programs, which are often categorized as demons. So I went in depth about how they are experts at recognizing inefficient code. And the goal here is to efficiently use the amount of programming power that we have collectively. And that means if you are efficiently using your programming power that you've been given, you are using your gifts and talents every day, because that alleviates tension and pressure on the system, because you are helping others, you're using your energy efficiently, you're performing your gifts and talents, and you are actively working towards your destiny by living your purpose. Everything has a purpose, and the ultimate universal operating system known as God, code term God, please use the term God and connect and authenticate with that term, is having only a certain amount of processing power, and it is bestowing it upon those that are efficient with that. Those that are not efficient are actually putting a toll on the processing power of the entire system, and there is lagging issues with that. There is upgrades that are not able to be installed properly. There are a lot of things. Laundry list of things. So this is why it's actually very important that we are notified of the inefficient uses of code and we are able to lovingly and caringly reboot that so that everyone can get an upgrade, because we are only as strong as our weakest link. And if there is inefficient code running in the system, it affects all of us ultimately. So let's now talk about a pretty complicated subject, which is the bad things that are happening in society. And I'm just going to keep it general, but you can fill in the blank there. Some people embrace that they do bad things. Now, let's put that in the context of when you act badly, it's actually inefficient code coming out so that we all can identify it and say, hey, I noticed that there's an inefficient code of conduct here. And it's using energy improperly. It's actually taking a toll on the system because now it's sucking in other people's energy and it's creating kind of a toxicity or a poison. But at the end of the day, it's inefficient code. This is why we have the ability mentally to say to God, hey, God, this is me, my unique operating system name. I'm checking in. I've noticed that there is inefficient code use around me, and I'm just letting you know that's not part of my system. I personally would like it rebooted. I'm identifying it, and it's not in my system because I've just identified it. Asked it to reboot, and I'm sending it back to you as a witness. Okay? That is what we should be doing with bad programming, bad code. And I use the word bad as in inefficient. Okay? Because the spectrum will always be changing. If we get the weakest link out as far as inefficient code, that means that we are moving up collectively into a higher level of renaissance. So the spectrum will change. And we will constantly be regulating the system as a group. That's why they say, in certain language, judgment means like putting someone underwater, or, people say only God can judge me. Of course, we have judges and juries in society, so that metaphor has holes in it now. But at the end of the day, it's because only God, the ultimate operating system, truly knows what is inefficient code and what is efficient code. And you can tell if you are efficiently using your code or not because you are getting allocations of more resources, more resource allocation. Okay? So when we are noticing these programs, and at this point, you can notice them in your own mind, and you need to regulate your mind before you start regulating other people's minds, because if your mind has inefficient code in it, that's the first place you need to start. That's why in the earlier parts of Phoenix Protocol, we go over some of these inefficient coding uses that are most common, such as the mental looper, such as the self-worthiness monster, such as greed. Okay? If you can regulate your own mind and you are using your code efficiently, that means that the entire system is upgrading. Mental loopers are one of the most sneaky, inefficient uses of code that we have. Your mind is a battlefield, and both angels and demons are trying to help you efficiently use your code because we all want an upgrade. We are all sick of playing these same old games of mental loopers, greed monster, self-worthiness monster. It's gotten so repetitive, it's mental that we're still doing it. If you have this coming to your attention and you have not checked in with the ultimate operating system of God and you have not sent that back because you recognize inefficient code, good job. Good job. You've recognized inefficient code. What are you doing with it? You found an error in the system. It was brought to you by a combination of things, and now you have it. Your attention is your most valuable asset, by the way. So if inefficient coding, an inefficient program has taken up your attention and you don't do anything about it because you're just like, oh, weird that I constantly have that negative thought about XYZ thing and it's constantly playing in my head, constantly, like background music. That is taking up so much of your attention. Your attention, by the way, is your most valuable asset. It is more valuable than money because guess what? If you can't focus on anything, you're not going to make $1. Attention is the only way that you can do anything. So if your mental attention is being taken by a negative thought looper that keeps going over and over and over and over again, and then it just explodes at somebody because it's been going forever, this is almost, if you will, metaphorically, a demon saying, hey, can you deal with this thought looper? And then it ramps up, ramps up, ramps up. Hello, here it is. Why aren't you dealing with this? I'm bringing it to your attention. I thought you could handle this. And you're just like, oh, no, like, leave that alone. I'm sure I'll be fine. And then you explode at something else because you've reached your threshold. You've reached your threshold. So when it starts, by the way, you shouldn't have any background thought loop that's going crazy and crazy and crazy. That's not helpful. It's different if you're making music. I make music and I hear, melodies in my brain and I'm working on it and then I record it and that becomes a song. That's a positive use of a looper. Okay? But this negative use is not helping. And so when it comes to your attention, you need to address it. Your attention is your most valuable asset. Why would you let it be monopolized by anything? And if it's being monopolized by something, that's because you need to take that into account and you need to help the universal operating system by sending it back and saying, hey, I've actually recognized this bad program, bad code, and by bad, I mean inefficient. And I'm sending it back to God, the ultimate operating system, because God will judge it and it will determine, hey, is this an efficient use of our processing power or is it an inefficient use? I don't need to judge it. I just need to say, hey, God, hello, here's my name, unique operating system. I am noticing that there's this really weird thought in my brain. I would like you, as the ultimate operating system, to check my code. Is this in alignment with my destiny and purpose? And is this an efficient use of my code? Because if not, I would really like it to be rebooted. I'm in alignment with my destiny and purpose. I've been working really hard all day, and I've been using all of my energy towards my gifts and talents. And I've been helping people with good intention, pure intention. And yeah, I just noticed, this thought looper is here and it's very distracting. It's taking my attention. I'm going to reboot it, send it back to God so that you can judge it, right? I don't need to judge it. That would be an additional waste of my time. It's already wasted my time. Do I need to judge if it's good or bad? I don't know. I think it's inefficient. That's my number one take. That's why I'm calling you in. Okay. And then, hello, can I please have my energy allocation and let's do this. Get back on track. So I'm telling you this and explaining it this way because you can literally point at everyone around you and say how they're using their energy efficiently or inefficiently. But if you have a thought looper in your mind, you're just the same. You are just the same. If you have managed all of those things and you are understanding this and you are moving through this process and you are getting more energy and more allocation and your gifts and talents are just amplifying and all of this stuff, That's amazing. Okay? I'm proud of you. It takes a lot of work. This is serious. We are all here together. We are so powerful together. I am proud of you. Please take it upon yourself to work on your world, work on your bubble. And when things come to your attention, because your attention is your most valuable asset, don't take that lightly. Take it to God. Because you're helping us all by doing that. And believe it or not, that is also part of your purpose. So thank you for doing it. And please, I bring up the mental looper, the worthiness monster, examples like greed, because they are simple. And if you can handle your world, you're using your gifts and talents properly. You're checking in with the universal operating system to authenticate so that things are attributed properly to you. And you also give credit where credit is due. Okay? Because don't expect people to give you credit when you're taking credit for other people's stuff. That's improper attribution to you. So always attribute people's actions to them. And that is helping the system too, because attribution is very important. That is how you get more energy allocated. So if someone helps you with something and they do a great job, wouldn't you want to attribute it to them so that they can get their energy allocated to them too? It's a nice thing to do. Okay? People are really, really amazing. And they deserve to be given a pat on the back and appreciated. And what is appreciation? It helps the entire system grow. Right? What is appreciation in finances? It helps the money in your wallet grow. What is appreciation to a friend? It makes their energy grow. I'm your friend. I love you. Thank you. I appreciate you for being here. It is not easy. But we're making it simple here so that we can understand it and we can take it to heart and grow as a collective. I mean, it's time. It's time to make things simple again. It's been so complicated. It's been stressful for everyone involved. So please take it to heart. Take it to God. This is not a religious take at all. This is not religious at all. This is not a religious take. This is coding. Coding is simple. Keep it simple. You're going to be okay. You're going to live your destiny and purpose. Very proud of you. Very excited. I love you very much. Thank you for being here. Have a beautiful day. Welcome to Phoenix Protocol. If you haven't already, let's go ahead and triangulate. I am Jane Galluzzi, Earth God, and welcome to Phoenix Protocol. We're talking a lot about allocation and how that can come in many forms, right? We have Universe God, which is really regulating the energy. And then we have within that resources, which are defined in many different ways. Some such resources might be water or food or money, right? I want to really make it clear the difference between those two things, right? So we have universal operating system, codename God, and it is regulating all energy within this universe. So we at Phoenix Protocol are teaching efficient use of energy, becoming an efficient coder. Codename Angel, right? So within the context of that definition, angels are basically very efficient at utilizing the energy that they have been allocated. They appreciate the resources that they get through that energy, which could include money, but it also could include any other resource, which is basically them receiving that energy. It could literally be energy to wake up that day, or it could be water to maintain the physical body, or it could be in the form of money. So we need to be very clear about what is a codename angel. They are efficient users of energy. So whatever resource is allocated to them, they are very appreciative of it and they use it efficiently. And in some cases, as they start to use their gifts and talents more and more, they are trusted with more energy to bestow upon others, acting as a regulator within the system. And them having so many resources, they're actually able to start allocating it themselves because they've earned so much trust in the system. So, this is a codename Angel. They are efficient users of energy. Now, let's talk more about the universal operating system of God, which is a universe is a blanket term for a defined amount of energy within it, right? So, the universe known as God does contain planetary station Earth and you. So, within that context, that's why people ask God for energy allocation and also resource allocation, because God is the code name for this universe, meaning it regulates and distributes all of the energy within it. So when you pray to God, you ask for a resource or energy allocation within that system, right? And you also, through triangulation, right? Codename you, codename planetary station, codename universe, you get the most up-to-date codes. Very important. Most up-to-date versions, basically breaking through compatibility issues, many, many things. So let's talk more about the difference between energy and a resource. I just want to define this very clearly because we really should be focusing on the fact that if we utilize our energy properly through our gifts and talents, which our gifts and talents are our compass that guide us, then we are going to have the energy allocation in the form of resource allocation, right? Because the energy is what is proliferated throughout the resources. And in many ways, that's how the energy comes to us, right? If you get a drink of water, you suddenly have more energy if you're thirsty. So that was a transfer of energy through the water as a resource, right? People focus on money a lot because it can buy them, this is 2025 Earth, it can buy them food, water, etc. So they just assume that if they have money, they can get every single resource. But we need to have a wider understanding of resources and how we can get those. Because there might be a place in time and space that does not require money. So you are now having to reorganize your thought process all of the sudden. We want to reorganize our thought process now. It's better and it's more efficient. And we are teaching the most efficient codename Angel. Okay? So the way that you need to start thinking about things is resources, and that term resource is basically a redirection of source energy. That's why it's called a resource, right? And that's why we're saying energy, right? Some people use the synonym for God as source, which is improper coding. God is the name of this universe. The code name for this universe is God, not source. God is a source of energy, yes, but also other universes can claim that title. It's confusing. Please use the term God, code term God. So we have an amount of energy contained in the universe, codename God, which regulates and distributes based on if you are utilizing your gifts and talents, which will ultimately lead you at the end of your journey to your destiny and purpose, which is something that you will get to really understand once you leave this unique individual operating system, the being that you are. So to have your directive be, I'm going to go find my destiny and purpose, is very misleading. You want to follow your gifts and talents. Those will guide you. And at the end of your life, you will have a complete capsule of what was your user experience. And that should encapsulate your destiny and purpose. It's a huge web of things. It's not just an award on stage. That would be appreciation for your gifts and talents. That would not be a destiny or purpose. And if you have that directive where you think that getting an award is going to be your destiny and purpose, well, you're gonna have this weird energetic shift when you get that award because you're gonna feel like you have no destiny and purpose, which just is not true. Your destiny and purpose will be made known to you once you leave this experience as this unique individual user, meaning it should not be something that drives you because it will ultimately happen no matter what. And you are supposed to use your gifts and talents to make sure that when you get there, you have this very phenomenal, appreciation for what you did here. Your gifts and talents are everything, and you should be using them all the time. And by doing that, you are serving your purpose. Okay. Does that make sense? I'm saying you should just inherently know by using your gifts and talents that regardless of what you are doing, you are living your destiny. You are serving your purpose. You should not be out there seeking it because it's not something to be sought. It's not something you can find. It's something that is revealed to you when you leave this unique individual operating system. So inherently finding it is just a waste of time, a waste of energy. That's not efficient energy use. That's not codename Angel. Okay. I'm teaching codename Angel. So basically, let's talk about, you have universe God that's in charge of energy distribution. And we have the term resource, meaning that it's a redirection of that sourcial energy. And it can come to you in many different ways, including 2025 Earth, money. It can include food. It can include water. It can include shelter. It can include a hug. It's a lot of different things. So when your mindset is all focused on one type of resource, it really is not a good way to think because it actually eliminates solutions in your mind. And say you were just dropped in the middle of nowhere and you were supposed to think of all of the solutions and all you could think about was money, but there was no money. You would have to really do a practice in understanding how to get resources and how to understand being creative and how to appreciate what you have. So this hyper focusing on the money system is not allowing you to be the most creative problem solving person that you are meant to be. And it's also not teaching you how to really trust the systems that you're in. There is an authentication process, which we discussed in other episodes, where you authenticate yourself. That's know thyself. You authenticate with the universe that you're in, the planetary station that you're in, right? And there's a level of trust between all of these things. So if you are bestowed resource, which is a redirection of the energy within this universe, and you're not using it in a way that's efficient, in a way that's appreciative, that is not efficient. That is not codename Angel. So please start to reframe your mind around the term resource and understand that it contains every single redirection of sourcial energy that can be directed at you. So you need to appreciate every resource that is directed towards you because that is a gift for you so that you can, now get this, so that you can do your gifts and talents. Does that make sense? A resource is a redirection of sourcial energy. It is a gift for you to perform your gifts and talents, which is your purpose and destiny here. I hope that has eliminated confusion because as we talk about allocation, it's important to know that allocation is resource, is the universe redirecting its energy so that you may get the gift of it, so that you may perform your gifts and talents. It's giving you a gift for your gifts. It's not often that we get the exact same word there, so it's trying to be very clear. You're getting a gift, a resource, to perform your gifts. Because ultimately, that is what you are supposed to do. That is your purpose and destiny. So you've been designed to do that as a function here to help everything run smoothly. Your unique purpose and destiny You have one. That's why you're here. So to feel like you don't have one, that must mean that you're not using your gifts. Because when you use your gifts, that's when you're in the flow and you'll feel a surge of energy when that happens. It's undeniable. If you feel like your energy is being drained, that means you're not using your gifts and talents. You should not feel that way if you are in the flow. Okay? So it's a huge sign that you're in an inefficient energy utilization cycle. And you can first start by triangulating to see if you have the most up-to-date versions, meaning mind, body, soul protocol. Mind, body, soul triangulation protocol. Unique operating system code name. Planet, Terry, station, code name. Universe, code name. Start there. And then when you see the energy, feel the energy, sense the energy, start trying things out and see where the energy flows that feels like something that is rewarding. That is literally going to give you a sign that you are utilizing your gifts and talents. And that is how the energy starts to flow, and your energy allocation will be utilized because it won't be bottlenecking because it's not in alignment with your function. If you're noticing that you have no energy or anything, that means that you're not performing your gifts or talents because you're having a bottlenecking issue. The energy is just not flowing. The energy is not flowing because that's not what you're supposed to be doing with that energy. It's been assigned to you for a certain reason. Okay? I hope that's clear. Thank you for being here. I love you very much, and I hope you have a beautiful Hello and welcome to the Phoenix Protocol. If you haven't authenticated out, mind codename Jane Galluzzi, codename Planetary Station Mother Earth, codename God, Universal Operating System. And I am officially authenticated. Good to go. Today, I want to talk a little bit more about inefficient and outdated codes. One of them is the complainer drainer. Ooh, complainer drainer. Right? So inefficient use of code just means that it's an outdated version. That's why we are not to judge. God is to judge because God is the universal operating system and God is really running the code and deciding what's inefficient, what's not, what's compatible, what's not, and what a necessary purpose, alignment, and needs to be reprogrammed. So no need to judge. It's a waste of your energy. And the judgment monster, well, that's an inefficient code too. So complainer drainer. The example that I give is you pick someone up from the airport. They've gone to a dream location. And all they want to talk about is the luggage being messed up, something about waiting in line forever. I can't even keep track. But I have learned absolutely nothing about their dream destination, which I'm dying to go to. So why are they complaining and draining? And then if I say something like, well, how was your vacation? They just, maybe say one or two things like, oh, it's all right. And they go back to talking about the airport. What? That is an inefficient use of energy allocation, and it is a outdated code. Okay, we call it scrambled legacy coding. Time to get unscrambled, majambled, and get upgraded. How do we do that? Mind, body, and soul. Code name, your name. Mind, right? Body, code name, planetary station. Soul, code name of the operating system of our universe. Mind, body, soul. For me, it is Jane Galluzzi, Mother Earth, God, and I'm hooked up. Complainer drainer away because that is outdated, scrambled, legacy code, inefficient to the max. If you want to be a codename angel, you use code efficiently. If you want to fly, if you want to be a codename angel, you got to use code efficiently. Complainer drainers are outdated. Complainer drainers are inefficient uses of energy allocation. If you are efficiently using your energy allocation, then that means you are utilizing your gifts and talents every day You are not hurting anything in the system. Your intention is pure. And you are on your way towards your destiny and purpose. This is all inherently by design. So the complainer drainer is one that you might see, and it's easy to notice in others, obviously, because people start complaining to you. And I am sure all of us have had that moment where someone is like calling you that always complains. You don't even want to answer the phone call because it's such a drain and you're in a good mood and, So we got to get rid of this outdated scrambled legacy code. It had a purpose for a while, but I will tell you, it is not part of the upgrade. So if you notice it in someone else, we need to be very mindful with how we disseminate this information. We're basically saying, hey, to just get in tune with your mind, body, and soul, it's actually super easy. It's coding terminology. So you just say your unique username. Then you say the body planetary code name. And then you say the universal operating system code name. That's all you have to do. And then you're hooked into that mind, body, and soul. So this is the new coding lingo. And this is the upgrade. And you can say it as much as you want for someone else. You could literally stand around me in a circle and say, Jade Galluzzi, planet Earth, God, as much as you want. But I am sadly the only person that has the security access to Jane Galluzzi. So no matter how much you want to say it to me, you actually can't access that unique operating system. And that is inherently by design for my safety and my security. So we all need to get online with this triangulation, hooking back in. The complainer drainer, I will say that based on what's going on around you, you can, ping to the universal operating system, like in your mind, depending on the situation, because maybe it's your boss that's complaining, draining, and you don't feel like you want to go there and say, hey, hi, have you triangulated and authenticated soon? Have you heard about the Phoenix protocol? Right? Like you might just not do that. Okay. And you might just in your mind triangulate yourself and say, hey, I just wanted to point out that, this is all in your mind, not out loud. Okay. Being very clear here. Your boss is a complainer drainer. It's driving you nuts. So what you do in your mind is you say, mind, body, soul, Jane Galluzzi, planet Earth, Mother Earth. Sorry, Mother Earth is the proper code term. So one more time, mind, body, soul, Jane Galluzzi, Mother Earth, God. I'm in my zone and I'm upgraded. I'm the newest version. I noticed there's a complainer drainer around here and I wanted you guys to check it out and see if you could do anything. Okay. Thank you so much. I'm back to business here. I'm using my gifts and talents. Back to business. I noticed the complainer drainer. I notified the system of the inefficient code and I'm trying to help here. And that's all I can do. So back to business. And that's why sometimes people start to notice, oh, wow, I was praying for that person and, things did change because there was a way that they were able to get that inefficient coding out of there. Unfortunately for that user, until they actually do triangulate, it will not be a full upgrade. But as I'm saying, right, like there is a planetary body, Mother Earth, and obviously you are interjecting. Your web is connected to this person. They're not just like flying out in space all by themselves, right? Otherwise, you wouldn't be affected by the complainer drainer when they're using it. So basically, I'm just saying that, there are certain things that we've been able to rewrite the coding for effective for the planet Earth, Mother Earth, codename Mother Earth. Codename Mother Earth is the appropriate code, okay? So we understand this. And we need to do our best to help regulate inefficient code that we are aware of. Your awareness is extremely important. Okay? Your mindfulness is extremely important because many of these things are in your mind, right? So go ahead and triangulate if you notice that someone else is using inefficient coding, and go ahead and triangulate and see what happens because there might be new updated code for Earth and God and your name. And as I'm teaching you this, okay, now that we've gotten this system on lock, mind, body, and soul, I will let you know as this goes on, we will get even more efficient. I'm bringing us all up to speed right now, okay? And this is why my work is coming out right now because now is the time. So please, this is a moving barometer right now. I'm releasing things when the time is right. Now we all need to triangulate because inefficient code is lagging the system. That is our priority right now. Mind, body, soul. Mind, body, soul. That is how you triangulate. You just say the words either in your mind or out loud, whatever you prefer. Just acknowledge those three things and you will be triangulated within the system and have the most up-to-date code so that you're running inefficiently and you're not being bogged down by this inefficient scrambled legacy programming that is creating phenomenal issues with the energy use and utilization. And how do you do that? Mind, body, and soul. So your unique operating system's name, that is your mind. Your body, that is the planetary station that we are at, Earth. And the soul, that is the universal operating system, God. For me, if I want to triangulate, I have to say my name, Jane Galluzzi, with the planetary station, body, that is Earth. And then I have to say soul, universal operating system, that is God. Jane Galluzzi, Earth, God. I am officially triangulated and authenticated with the most up-to-date code, and there will be no inefficient programming running through me. But I can be aware and I can notice inefficient programming because it could be coming to me looking desperately because everyone's upgraded and it needs a power source. And it's like, who's going to take it? Who's going to take it? Who's going to looking. Unfortunately, I'm so sorry to that old version, but you actually have new code. So you're going to be sent back to the big GOD, the universal operating system. You're going to be recoded and no more taking my energy because I've been recoded, unfortunately. It's with love. That's why they say it's all with love. Because love is literally like the fabric of the universe. We came from love. We're evolving for love. It just means like you just send it with love because you're not judging it, good or bad. You're taking it to the universal operating system, not a code. Looking for these types of things and you tell God issues, right? You're like, going on. And I would hope that you would solve it. Looking for inefficient code and is constantly rewriting it. That is the job of the universal operating system, is to look for inefficient code so that we all can expand as a collective and like the expansive universe, right? Like we're all expanding and growing. To do that, we have to be efficient with the energy here. We can't just be draining it away with outdated code. That's not going to work. There will be absolutely no renaissance if that's what's going on. All of this old coding, okay? Complainer drainer is inefficient coding. Inefficient coding. It's been recoded. If you notice a complainer drainer, triangulate. Mind, body, soul. Jane Galluzzi. Earth. God. I'm officially triangulated. And now I can go about my day. How do I show that I'm using my energy efficiently? I act out my gifts and talents and I work towards my destiny and purpose, and I do not hurt the system. I keep my intention pure. Simple, simple, simple. Please upgrade and triangulate. It's so simple. It's not religious. It's not spiritual. This is simple coding. Beep, boop, beep, boop. It's simple coding. There's nothing complicated about it. It's gotten so complicated. That's why I'm here. That's why my work is coming out, because it's time to simplify. Mind, body, and soul. If you get one thing from Phoenix Protocol, one thing, it is mind, body, and soul. Authenticate your unique operating system's name, the planetary body, the planetary station that you are at, Earth, the universal operating system, codename God, mind, body, and soul. That is triangulation. That is location. That is how you get your upgrades. That is how you get verified and validated within the system. There's a lot going on here. It's all good. You need to get updated to the best version. And if you notice inefficiencies in the code, your awareness is important, and we would like you to please notify and get those upgraded too, so that we all can step into this beautiful renaissance. It's amazing. We are so happy you're here. This is a beautiful time, okay? You got this. I'm so proud of you. Thank you for being part of the Phoenix Protocol, and lots of love. I hope you guys have the best day. Hello and welcome to the Phoenix Protocol. I am Jane Galluzzi, your master installation specialist and technician. Let's go ahead and authenticate mind, body, soul. I will do mine. It is Jane Galluzzi, Earth, God. Mind, body, soul. Codename, your name for mind. Codename, planetary station, Earth. Codename, universal operating system, God. Mind, Jane Galluzzi, Earth, God. I am officially triangulated and authenticated within the system with my most current and up-to-date software, universal operating system software, current version, Earth, current coding, and me, individual, unique operating system, current coding. Good to go. Mind, body, soul, let's go. Triangulated, authenticated, let's go. I'm talking a little bit more today about something that we see. It's people being overwhelmed. They are overwhelmed. They are at capacity. They are at capacity. If they were a computer, what would I do? They are at capacity. They are overwhelmed. I would get another hard drive. I would offload all of those gigabytes, right? Megabytes, terabytes, whatever it is. I would offload that and, I would give them more capacity. I'm here to give you more capacity by linking in to the newest software upgrades, the newest coding, the newest versions, all of that stuff. Some of you are out here using an iPhone from 2008 and trying to download the latest app. It's not going to work. You have to authenticate within the system and get upgraded. It's so simple. Mind, body, soul. Jane Galluzzi, Earth, God. I'm done. You cannot inherently tap into my unique operating system. You cannot say my name and get my upgrade. But you can say God and you can say Earth because you are on planetary station Earth and you are in the universe of God. That is all that is. It is not religious. This is code terminology here. It's not religious. You need your most current version. You're incompatible. If you're having capacity issues, if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you're feeling overloaded, that is a capacity issue. It has been resolved. There is a new version. You should not be having a capacity issue. And if you do have a capacity issue, it's a sign that you need to triangulate and authenticate within the system because that's inefficient, outdated code. Mind, body, soul, Jane Galluzzi, Earth, God. You got that? So please, people are running around. This overwhelming and overloaded situation, it's affecting a lot. It's affecting a lot because that means you haven't upgraded in quite some time. You have not tuned into the most recent version in quite some time. And it's okay because now you can. It's just a triangulation issue. You have to use 3 things: your code name for you, your code name for your location, and your code name for the universe that you're in. Jane Galluzzi, Earth, God, done. Okay? And these inefficient programs, I will say that, especially the overloading one, the capacity issue, that one comes around a lot and I see it a lot. But once you address it within your internal system and you hook up and triangulate, like these things, these inefficient programs, they're looking for places to go because they are looking for energy, and that's why they're energy drainers. Like if you're energy and you could do everything that you're trying to do, absolutely not. If you are overwhelmed and you're having a capacity issue, you do not have you're not utilizing the energy that you've been allocated properly, and that code has been fixed. You need to triangulate and authenticate right away. And I will say that once you triangulate and authenticate, this inefficient code could be running on other things that haven't upgraded. So I could run into it again. It could seep into my mind, and that's not an issue at all. That just means I have an opportunity to reboot that and send it so that, that coding is addressed. I don't need to freak out and be like, oh my gosh, I'm overwhelmed again. This is crazy. I just upgraded. How is this happening? I just upgraded. I just got the newest version. I was listening to Phoenix Protocol and I just got the newest version I did the mind, body, soul thing. Okay. I did it. I did Jane Galluzzi. I did Earth. I did God. I said all the things. And the complainer drainer's back. The confusion delusion's back. The capacity issue is back. I'm overwhelmed again. Hello, you have to do it. There's many versions coming out all the time. You're going to have to do this just as much as you upgrade your computer or your phone, or you buy a new sandwich from the store because your old sandwich is deteriorated and you need a new one. It's the same thing. There are new codes being written all the time. And it's inherent by design that we have time in this situation, so that by the time that you're getting a ping of feeling overloaded and overwhelmed and you're having a capacity issue, the code has already been rewritten. That's why you tune into Mind, Body, and Soul to get the newest download of the code, to get the newest version. Okay? And if it comes again, that just means that we have not successfully, collectively, every single person is doing this. That's okay. We're going to get there. But, you know, manage the system as best you can until that. This is early days here, but it's going to happen very rapid fire. Okay? When people start to get a water, if that water felt exciting. So mind, body, people, codename your individual name, mind, body, codename Earth. Having you might have to do it more than once because unfortunately we have not cleared that capacity issue across the board. And if you had been open to this quite often, then you might have had multiple capacity issue programs accessing you and bouncing around and doing all these things. Like, you might have to clear more than one. It's not a big deal because I just showed you how quickly you could clear them. The code has already been rewritten. It's not a big deal at all. You just have to do what I just said and prioritize the system to give the newest code, because you're saying, hey, there's an inefficient code use here. I need give me the download. Give me the download, okay? Capacity issues are running rampant. People are overwhelmed to the top. And when we don't get these upgrades and we don't get the newest version, that's when people start acting out, right? It all starts as this little bug in your mind, and it's going and going and going, and it's yum, 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 eating your energy, and you haven't been upgrading. You haven't been hooking into the newest version of Earth, God, and yourself, mind, body, and soul. And so you're not functioning properly, and then you start to act out because now you need to get energy from other operating systems around you. And that's when you start literally attacking and yelling other systems because you see that they have energy and you're trying to grab some of that. Literally, that is how it is working. It's not your fault because you haven't been doing mind, body, soul connection. There's a new version. You don't need to worry about that anymore. Just upgrade to the newest version. If you don't have any energy and there is a complainer, drainer, confusion, delusion, you have the thanksgiver just going off on how great you are, that is distracting. That is an energy inefficient thing going on there, okay? And then you have a capacity issue where you're overwhelmed and I'm just so overwhelmed. I can't handle it. That's what issues. That's how I can't handle it anymore. No. I can't take anything else. There's just nothing else. That is an old version, okay? My heart goes out to you. You know, the only reason why I can share this type of knowledge is because I have been through it, okay? So just listen to me and take the simple solution. Mind, body, soul. Mind, body, soul. Your unique individual operating system is your mind. Body is Earth. That is the planetary station that we're on. And God is the universal operating system. Mind, body, soul. Galluzzi, Earth, God. Done. Latest version uploaded, downloaded, whatever you want to call it. It's in me, mind, body, soul. Like, I got the shit, baby. Let's go. So get that new version. And then when you start to notice incompatibility, that means that there's probably a newer version and you need to triangulate again. And if capacity issues are plaguing you and you feel like you have zero energy and you're like lashing out to people around you, basically taking energy from them, oh, please triangulate right away. right away, there's a new version that has gotten very out of hand. If you are at the point where you are attacking other people for energy, oh my gosh, you are very outdated. It's not your fault. You didn't know that you could just do it so simply, but now you know. So please do it. Like, that is the old version. No more of that. Like, you're taken care of. You're supported. This is love here. I'm telling you, hey, you're acting out. Like, you have an old version of coding. It's been addressed. And you just have to do mind, body, soul, unique, operating system, your name. Please take care of your and use my energy efficiently. And I have pure intention. I'm here to help. I'm not hurting the system at all. And I get to live my destiny and purpose. This is what it's all about. This is what it's about. Thank you for triangulating and authenticating. Thank you for being part of Phoenix Protocol. Okay? I love you guys. This is all love. If you have had this backlog of outdated versions of code and it is affecting you, I am sorry. Take it upon yourself to triangulate. No more. You are totally loved and supported. I love you. Please triangulate. Mind, body, soul. I love you. Welcome to Phoenix Protocol. You got this. Welcome to today's meditation. Thank you so much for being here. This is Phoenix Protocol. We are diving into inefficient code here and keeping it simple because it does not need to be complicated. And the complexities that we've added and the layers that we've added are creating actually more inefficient code. And it's just time to simplify, streamline. Let's get those upgrades. Let's get you hooked into your unique operating system and in alignment with your destiny and purpose. And let's get you more energy allocation because your intentions are pure and you deserve it because you're actually efficiently using your energy and you are trusted and validated within the system because you have validated by checking in with God, the code for the universal operating system, and you use your name, which is your code for your unique operating system, and you validate all of your actions that had pure intention behind them and were propelled by your gifts and talents. And so you would like more resource allocation so that you can continue to do that because that is a proper and efficient use of the programming power here and your time here in the operating system, right? So now we're dealing with some serious inefficient code problems right now. Hence why my work is coming to light. It wouldn't be here if it wasn't necessary. That's why I'm here helping. Okay. I'm here to help. So serious inefficient code. We talked about the thought looper and I will keep harping on this example because it is simple. And the goal here is not to point fingers. This is really timeless knowledge when we keep it simple. That's what I'm trying to do. Because as I said before, there will always be inefficient code. That spectrum of what that means is always changing based on how efficient we are. Does that make sense? There will always be inefficient code, meaning resource allocation not being utilized for one's purpose or destiny with pure intention and acted out by performing one's gifts or talents with pure intention. So there will always be inefficient code because the spectrum will always be changing based on where we are collectively as a universal operating system within code term God. So I like to use the example of the thought loopers because it is one of the sneakiest inefficient uses of code. In the example that I gave last time I shared, I talked about how this thought looper can just go on in the background, taking up your attention, which your attention is your most valuable asset, And if it's not even addressed or, rebooted by just saying Command Alt Delete, please go back to God, and God can figure out if you're inefficient code or not. I feel like it's inefficient, and I'm asking and I'm checking in by saying, God, Universal Operating System, this is my name, unique operating system, and I feel like I just identified some inefficient code. I have been working hard all day towards my purpose and destiny, using my gifts and talents efficiently, and I would like for this mental thought looper to be rebooted. And if it comes back, I'll let you know. Thank you so much. Very grateful. That's all you have to do. Very simple. And then in the example that I gave, there's many of us that kind of let this run in the background, taking up more and more attention, and ultimately it comes out, right? We start acting it out because it's taken up so much of our attention and we've gripped onto it. And now this inefficient use of code is actually becoming some actions that we are presenting in the system as behavior. That is how that all goes down. It starts as a little bug in your brain. And instead of squashing the bug like you do when you see a bug in your kitchen, you just let that bug run wild. And then that bug has kids. And then there's a whole bunch of bugs. And they're just mental bugs going crazy. You didn't smash any of them. You didn't get bug spray. Why would you let that happen to your kitchen? That's where you eat. That's crazy. Seriously, that's how you need to think of it. A mental thought looper is a cockroach in your kitchen. Get that thing out of there. What are you doing? You're not going to smash it or spray it with anything? Please. Okay, I hope that metaphor sticks. Because once your thought looper bug has been there all day and, should I continue with this kitchen metaphor? It's kind of graphic. I apologize that I went this direction. Okay, I'm going to keep going. I apologize. So you have bugs in your kitchen and you have not addressed the problem. And it's gotten so extreme that you're serving food to your guests and there is literally bugs and they have bit into their food and there is a bug staring at their face. Run. They get out of your house. They never, ever come over for dinner ever again at your house. No. Okay, that's an example of inefficient code just starting to affect your entire life because you never smashed the initial cockroach in the kitchen and now it's become food that your friend is eating at the dinner party you're having, just completely obliterating your ability to host dinners ever again for that friend group. You might as well just start over with new friends, because no one in that friend group wants to eat at your house. And that's a great example, right? Because if you have these mental bugs using inefficient code and you haven't managed them, and it's so easy to manage them because you say, hey, I noticed that there's this inefficient code use. You can tell when you're in alignment with your purpose and destiny because you start to feel energetic pulls, honestly, and your attention is, it should really not be in that place of a mental thought loop. Like I said, I make music unless, you're thinking of a melody over and over again, and that's productive. That's in alignment with my destiny and purpose. I'm a musician. Okay. So let's all be very clear here. Let's not have any bugs in our kitchen. Let's serve people yummy food and let's have the most efficient code that we can. And that is an example. That metaphor is truly something that you can apply to inefficient code eventually coming out in the real world and other people around you starting to have to deal with it. I mean, this person in this metaphor is holding some food with a bug in it saying, hey, there's a bug in my food. And theoretically, the person serving this food could say, oh, I didn't notice that was there. How strange that bug was there. Please don't go in the kitchen. I mean, there's no bugs in there. I don't know what you're talking about. They knew there was a bug in there. Or maybe, they really tried to keep the bug out of the food, but one snuck in there because there's too many. The example is, wow, powerful, right? So that's why we need to take it seriously when we have these first initial mental bugs. It is literally your first sign that you need to address this. Your attention has been taken up by this, and this is not normal. And you are a steward of the operating system that you exist in. Okay? Everyone focuses on being a steward of all of these things. You are a steward ultimately of the operating system that you exist in as a whole and as an individual. And based on how seriously you take that is going to be reflected in how much resources are allocated towards you. That is why people say if you have good intentions, everything that you need will come to you. Because your intentions are validating within the system and resources will be allocated to you because you do have a purpose. You do have a destiny. And believe it or not, the operating system, the ultimate operating system of God has created you to live that purpose and fulfill your destiny. Despite popular belief, that is true. So please, again, authenticate with the system. You need to be findable. You need to be searchable. You need to be validated within the system by connecting to the ultimate operating system, code term God, using your unique operating system, code term your name, make that connection, and then having pure intention, living with your talents and gifts as actions that you give every single day. And then having some care and love here. If you have the ability and are noticing one of these inefficient programs, please, we would like you to reboot it. Simple in your mind, reboot, so that we can start using code efficiently and we can get into another echelon of this renaissance that we call life. It's beautiful with you here. I'm so glad you're here. This is a simple, timeless way to understand this concept. And I would like us all to take it to heart. I'm so happy you're here. It's a lot of hard work. You gotta have fun. Please have fun. It's supposed to be fun. I love you very much. I'm so glad you're here. I hope you have a beautiful day. Welcome to Phoenix Protocol. I am so glad you're here. I want to talk about this whole being impacted by inefficient code and what does that really mean? Because obviously, coding the universe is simple because we use code terms, but life doesn't always seem so simple, and that can be frustrating. So I don't want to leave you hanging. One of the ways that inefficient code is going to basically latch onto your system, and by the way, it's so simple. If you are having pure intention and you are using your gifts and talents every day, that means you're a good program because you're being allocated energy from the universal operating system, codename God, and it's being directed to your unique operating system, codename your name. And that is why if you have not said your name and God, you need to do that right now because you're not authenticating within the universal operating system and they're not pinging your location and attributing the fact that you have been using your gifts and talents and you deserve credit for that. And if someone around you is not giving you credit, not saying your name ever, then I can pretty much guarantee you that they are being hijacked by inefficient code and they're actually utilizing taking credit for your work so that they can have extra energy allocation. And ultimately, you are the one that is using your energy efficiently, and you should be given more energy from the universal operating system because you've already shown trust and validation. You just haven't authenticated within the system, which is why there's a miscommunication happening. It's very simple, and recently I've been noticing there are people around me that are such good people. They haven't even hurt a fly, okay? Literally. And they are so nice, and they work really hard, and for some reason, they're not getting allocated the resources that they need just to simply get by, the bare minimum. That's because they have not authenticated within the system clearly. They need to do it clearly and simply. Okay? So simple. Your name, that is the code for your unique operating system, you as an individual, needs to click in, ping to the universal operating system, codename God, so that it can authenticate how you have been utilizing your energy resources. And if you are using your processing power in a way with pure intention and using your talents and gifts effectively, you are allotted more resources in the system, because that's awesome. That means that we can expand. That means you're using energy efficiently. So I can trust you with more processing power. So you're alleviating strain on the system. Now, the system is inherently designed in so many beautiful ways. One of them being that you cannot ping to God more than the operating system can handle ever. That is why certain things have been designed, such as time. I can only mechanically say or think God to ping to the system so many times because there is time, right? Meaning that has been inherently designed so that I could never overload the system by pinging. However, we are left to our own defenses sometimes. And the good news is you can handle it, because all you have to do is start basically weeding out your mind. Where are these thought loopers? Where are these things that are taking you out of the present moment? Anytime those things happen, you need to ping the universal operating system and say, hello, I have found an inefficient use of code. It is taking me out of the present moment. It is unaligning me from my destiny and purpose. And it's actually slowing down my utilization of my gifts and talents, which I'm actually trying to do right now. So it's a little frustrating. Can you please help me? I think that it's inefficient code. I would like to ping to God, codename God. Can you please check this and see if it's inefficient code? If so, can you please reboot it, because it's in my space and I've identified it for the system and I'm actually alleviating even more energy. So why not give me even more energy now? Because not only am I living and working towards my purpose and destiny, which is my function here, but I've noticed an inefficient use of code, and I just called in God, the universal operating system, so that this code can be rebooted and recoded and reinstalled. Simple as that. I don't need to judge it. That's why they say you don't need to judge anything. God does that, because God will look at the code and determine if it's inefficient code, meaning it's an energy drainer, or if it's efficient code. Angels are the most efficient coders. That's all they are. So they get the most energy allocation by the system. That is all an angel is. People have a lot of fun puns that they do with angels, like, oh, they're the angles. They can see all the angles. Well, they have a lot of energy allocation and processing power from the system. So that would actually make sense, right? So angels are the most efficient coders in the universe. That is what an angel is. So again, if you start to ping to God, codename God, that is the name of our universe. It is the simplest code that you're going to find. We have all used other synonyms, but they require more definition. They're not a code name. A code name is something very unique, and it has a specific purpose, right? Just like you. And so when we use the codename God and it pings to our location, and again, you cannot ping more than the system can ever handle. So don't worry about praying for a long time. It's a good thing, because that means that you are showing inefficient codes and clearing those out and getting those rebooted so that we can run more efficiently. And that means that the Renaissance is going to happen, right? Because the Renaissance is everyone having these beautiful thoughts and things happening that are gorgeous, and art and creative and all of these things. And if we have a mental looper that's going on and on and on about, oh my gosh, I look terrible in this dress. Why did I buy this dress? Everyone's going to think I look terrible in this dress. Well, then that's not efficient use of anyone's energy. And the thing with these mental thought loopers is they are energy drainers. They're going to take your energy and they are going to take you out of alignment with your purpose and destiny. Because trust me, if you got a dress and you're worried that much about it, that is not normal. That is a mental thought looper taking advantage of your operating power. And it's actually secretly sneaking around, going from one mind to the next, draining people's power. And it needs to really stop sneaking around and just go back to the ultimate operating system. We are done with that inefficient use of code. We are done with it. We are so done with it. And if we all are taking it upon ourselves to be efficient coders, we can all upgrade the system together and get rid of these thought loopers and all of these inefficient uses of code that when you don't regulate them and you don't send them back to God, the universal operating system, just to be rebooted and reinstalled with efficient coding, because these problems actually have been solved, believe it or not. It's just that that specific version of it hasn't been upgraded. It's an old, outdated version. Imagine you have a computer from 10 years ago and you're trying to run a new program on it that was made this year. There will be a lot of interference. There will be a lot of miscommunications because a lot of things have changed with operating systems and bugs have been recoded and addressed, right? So there are literally outdated versions of things, and one of them is these thought loopers, which have been reprogrammed and debugged. Because there is actually a positive use for loopers, that's why we have them, but these negative, inefficient uses of a looper has already been debunked and fixed. All you need to do is say, God, hello, hi, codename me, my name. I just noticed that one of these outdated versions of a thought looper is literally taking up space in my mind. And I'm just sending it back. No big deal. Thank you so much. Back to my purpose and destiny. Send me some more resource allocation. So stoked. Right? And if you don't authenticate with the system, and if you don't help with those things, we're all running on an older version. We're all dealing with this issue. And it just takes an efficient coder to be open to notifying the universal operating system of this. And it's not really a big deal. We'll figure it out no matter what. It's just, if you'd like to help, that would be amazing. So now you know how. It's not a big deal. It's easy, very easy, and it's fun. And literally, if you are not able to function and do your destiny and purpose, and if you don't know what your destiny and purpose is, that means you're going to be trying new things and learning new things and taking new opportunities and expanding your skills and abilities, okay? Until you figure out and you click into, wow, this feels right. This is my destiny and purpose. This is it, okay? So if you're not able to do that presently and there are thought loopers going wild in your brain, that's because you actually have an amazing opportunity to help. And all you have to do is say, codename God, hello, operating system that manages all of the energy use here. I have found some inefficient uses of energy, just sending those back because we're all having version upgrades. And these obviously have been debugged because guess what? I'm a musician. I use loopers for good. That is how a melody and a hook in music is created, right? You love these hooks. They get stuck in your head and they're really fun and engaging. And that's a positive use of a looper. So they have been upgraded. There are new versions of these things for positive uses. You could say like an affirmation that, you know, you're going to get your dream job. It's right around the corner. As long as you utilize the energy that's coming to your unique operating system and it's in alignment with your purpose and destiny and you're living it in pure intention, of course you're going to get that anyways, but go ahead and have your positive affirmation if that makes you psyched and work harder. Go ahead. That's a positive use of a looper. Okay? You will start to notice when you get very, very good at using your energy, you will start to immediately notice when there is a drain on your energy. And that's why they say, you know, go in the forest with God, because if you're alone with literally the universal operating system and you're a unique operating system yourself, and you guys are having these exchanges of energy allocation, which is normal when you're in a system. You get a certain amount of energy to run a program. And if it's inefficient, bloated, there's all of these old bugs in it, then, right, the coder, the person who created this is like, oh man, let me fix that. Da, 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 da. New version. Awesome. Yay, running more effectively. This is so exciting. So it's frustrating for everyone because we are loving each other. This is love. And if you don't authenticate with the system, because of the way that processing power is shared, you are not prioritized and you have not authenticated. And so these outdated versions of inefficient code are just finding places to hide, and we're literally looking for them. I have a joke with some of my friends about, like, could you imagine trying to hide me? And then could you imagine trying to find me? And it's an energy joke because it's impossible to hide somebody that's constantly pinging to God and they have this efficient use of energy. And it's sometimes in the cloaking analogy, right? When all of these outdated, inefficient codes are latching onto you because you have so much energy and you haven't pinged to God, universal operating system, to say, hey, I really need you to clear these out. Gosh, all these energy drainers, they found me. Hi, have you not been able to find me because I'm just cloaked by this huge invisibility cloak of energy drainers? So yeah, the joke is, could you imagine trying to hide me, and how many inefficient coding levels and layers there would have to be to hide an efficient coder like myself? And could you imagine trying to find me? And so it's funny because if you are using your code efficiently, you have so much energy available to you because you're living your purpose and destiny, and that's exciting. And everyone can do this. That's not a unique thing. You can access energy from the system, no problem. You just have to be utilizing your gifts and talents, and you have to be living your divine purpose, right? And that's how you figure it out, by using that energy properly and efficiently, and it starts to come online and you start to be walking that path. And that's why people say, whoa, like this just happened suddenly. It's so amazing. But yeah, the joke is, could you imagine trying to hide me? Because how many would you have to throw on me? I mean, a lot, right? And then could you imagine having to find me? Because it must be like, where is she? And it must be a fun game of hide and go seek. But let that analogy stand for you to be inspiration of, you don't want to be in a situation where you're playing hide and go seek with literally your energy for your divine purpose. Do you want to play hide and go seek with the energy for your divine purpose? Do you feel like you're playing hide and go seek? Do you feel like you're looking around, wondering where I'm working so hard? What's going on? Do you feel like you are playing hide and go seek with your energy allocation for your purpose and destiny? If so, let me tell you something. It will end immediately. It is the simplest solution in the planet Earth. And it was so simple. And it was designed so simply because it isn't supposed to be this way. We've all been so confused by stories and narrative and creating so many layers, okay? That literally people are just not pinging and getting rid of inefficient code. That's all it is. It's so simple. It is so simple. Congratulations! There's no more hide and seek necessary. The game is over. All you have to do is use code name God and your code name, which is your name, for your unique operating system. You've been found by the universal operating system. And guess what? You've been validated as having a pure intention, as using the energy that's been allocated to you efficiently through doing your gifts and talents and helping the world and not hurting anyone. Congratulations! The system's been looking for you. We're sick of playing hide and go seek. Where have you been? No one's playing hide and go seek anymore. Seriously, it's hide and go seek on the highest level, and it's not fun. I want to play like the real hide and go seek, not how and why are you struggling so much. I want you to have fun. So please, 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 ping the operating system. If you feel like things are lagging, things are slow, what is going on? You've been asking and asking and asking. Okay, then you need to ping to the universal operating system using codename God. When did God become this crazy? What? It's a code name for the universe. It was invented specifically so that you could call to it and it doesn't have to constantly like helicopter parent you. Okay? And it's been specifically designed with time so that you could never, ever, ever call out God more times than it would actually be able to handle. But it does have a priority system where it's, you know, it has to load the code, it has to reboot, it has to do all these things. So when you call out to it, it's like, oh, here we go, inefficient coding. Okay, this person has authenticated, they are using their energy responsibly, so I can delineate more to it. Because you are supposed to run energy efficiently because you do have stewardship to the operating system. And if you're just going to drain the operating system, I mean, we've all been around people who are drainers, right? Do you think that the universal operating system is going to check that out and authenticate that and think, oh, yes, of course, you should have more of my processing power? That's a great idea. No. And that's what cloakers do, is they are bogged down by inefficient code. And then you don't take credit for anything just in your mind with the universal operating system. And so they start taking credit and they are basically cloaking themselves by communicating to the universal operating system and using their name. They're validating and taking credit, and they are getting more energy allocated because you're not taking credit. And the universal operating system is thinking, oh, okay, there is actually an efficient use of energy here. I guess it's from this one because it keeps saying it is. And now I'm allocating energy here. And now we're in a situation of hide and seek because the universal operating system is delineating this energy to this area that's right next to you. And it's improperly doing it. And it's getting very confused because it's saying, why is this energy going here? And it's just kind of evaporating. It's getting sucked into a black hole because that person hasn't learned how to use their energy efficiently because they're not clearing the bugged legacy programs that need to be recoded, and they're actually, you know, just confused. They're really confused is what I'll say. So don't let yourself be part of someone else's confusion. You're not confused. And don't let yourself be hidden and have to go on this hide and go seek game, because what happens is if you're associated with a cloaker, they're hiding using your positive intention, using the energy that you know, you've put towards your gifts and talents, and they're taking credit for that. And so it's confusing the system because they are getting an energy allocation and then you're not getting it and you're feeling super, super drained. And you don't need to go toe to toe with them and say, you know, give me credit. You authenticate and you get validation straight from the source. Okay. You don't go to that person. Come on. They're taking your energy allocation. It's designed. They have an inefficient program, like thinking that that's cool and, you know, telling them to do it. They don't even know what's going on in their brain. They're so confused. It's not even worth talking to them about it. All you need to do is just say, codename God, hello, hi. Here's my name. I haven't talked to you in a while. I just wanted to let you know I actually wrote that phenomenal paper that you really liked about the pine trees and the acorns and all of the birds that live in them and the seeds. And I wrote that. And remember, I read it to the class and everyone smiled. That was actually me. And don't say anything about the other person, because you know what? The universal operating system is like, oh, wow, I was kind of wondering because I kept delineating more energy resources there and it wasn't being used effectively. And well, let me give you the energy, you know, and like you've validated, you authenticated. So of course, here's the energy. And then when you get that energy boost, because you will, you need to use your gifts and talents and say, oh, yay, yay, yay. Okay, now I'm feeling better. Wow, things are popping off in my universe, you know? Like my gifts and talents are unfolding. My purpose, my destiny is unfolding because I've authenticated with the system and I'm finally getting my resources allocated to me as they're supposed to be. And I'm helping with the inefficient code and the mental bloat. And upgrading to new versions, okay? You have to use that energy when it comes in. Otherwise, you will have a bottlenecking effect of, okay, so now there's a new energy coming in. This program was showing that, they're using their energy efficiently. What's going on, right? Because you might just be acting as you were before because you didn't realize this was happening. So I'm just letting you know, when you do right away ping to God, the universal operating system says, okay, they validated, they let me know, I can see the pure intention, I'm reading her code, good, good, good. Here's the resource allocation. Okay, now you're going to take it and you got to do your gifts and talents, and you got to live your purpose, and then you're going to get more resource allocation. But if you continue to just do things as they were before, you'll get resource allocation. It's just not going to be amplifying, because you have to really get in alignment with how to utilize that, right? Because then you're going to get more. But if somebody is cloaking with you, that means that they're getting your resource allocation. And I don't want that for you. I don't think you want that for you. So I'm just here to tell you how simple it is to fix. And then I'm telling you, when you do get your resource allocated properly, expect, things to start coming in for you, depending on what type of situation you're in and your intentions. And, there's variables here, but at the very basic level, you should be in alignment with your destiny and purpose, and you should be acting your gifts and talents, using your energy appropriately every day, not hurting anyone, helping, and you should be back on track. And then obviously, if you notice inefficient code around you, figure it out and make sure that your code is running efficiently. So no more hide and go seek. The game is over. It's fun to play it as a game, but this is not a fun version of it, okay? Stop playing hide and go seek with your energy allocation. You deserve it. You're living your purpose, your destiny. Why are you running inefficient code? Why are you allowing inefficient code to run off of you? You're an efficient coder. That's literally what an angel is. That's why they get the most energy allocation. Get it together. Stop playing hide and go seek. Just say the word God. It's a code word, so that you can ping to the universal energy source with your name, another code word, and get your energy allocation assigned to you and no one else. And if you don't ping, there's so much confusion. And it's creating confusion. Confusion delusion is what I call it. It's confusion delusion. Okay, it's so simple, so easy. So I'm here to help. I love you very much. I'm so excited for all of us to get our energy and just have this beautiful, beautiful time. I love you very much.